What's up, guys?
What's up?
Thank you for tuning in to RNC Watch TV. And tonight, you're gonna have to, not tonight, Jesus. You're gonna have to remind me of the episode or the show name.
We're watching Solar Opposites
Yes,
on Hulu.
It's been really good.
I like it. It's from the now canceled creator of Rick and Morty.
I really like how they handled the swap. Like, I think it worked so well, and I was reading an article about it.
Oh, really?
And I think, and the reason that they were also there, well, I think I stole it from them.
So we're in season 4.
But it was like they didn't try to like find someone that had his same voice qualities and just emulate. They went with the exact opposite, like dude with an accent and everything, and just like we're like, hey, dude, guys here now, deal with it.
Yeah. Was there like a plot explanation for the switch out, or was it just?
I think no. If I remember correctly, on episode 1 of the current season, his voice was just different, and then he's like, I think in the intro where like he goes on like a monologue, like at one point he's just like, yes, this is always how I've sounded. Deal with it, or something like that. It's like the perfect way to handle a cast change like that.
Yeah, it was good. I'm really enjoying this season.
I've loved it so far. This is the first season I've ever seen of it. It does remind me a lot of Rick and Morty. I think the other guy that's on the show is the guy that does, and I'm going to have to look it up because it's going to drive me crazy. I'm pretty sure it's the guy that handles Strange New Worlds, which is the Star Trek irreverent animated series. Not Strange New Worlds. I'm going to get crucified for saying that. Lower Decks. I'm just checking here. Yep. Mike McMahon. It's a lot of yeah. We have a cat.
We have 2 cats. One is just more up on our stuff.
It depends on the day. So this is Sonic. Sonic has been causing chaos all morning, and then Tails is somewhere asleep. But they'll swap places later in the day, I'm sure. He's so adorable.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not like a lot to say about Solar Opposites. I don't know. It just like they have funny jokes. Sometimes it's subtle. I really like I feel like the ship AI has been like a far more minor character, but like this season she got her own like episode arc.
I liked that.
Yeah, that was really funny.
To think.
I like the Jesse's spoilers also. The kind of ant farm she has with the people that she's shrunk.
There was an article that I saw about people theorizing that there's going to be a spin-off based on The Wall, which would be fantastic.
I would watch. 10 out of 10 would watch.
Oh, the other one's awake. Tails is awake.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you always have to wonder, when you lose a creator, like, is the show going to go downhill? But honestly, I feel like it's just as good, if not better, in season 4.
Yeah, and judging me like the guy that also did Lower Decks, he's done a good job just soloing that one. So I don't know. Him being over it still gives me faith.
I think it's also interesting, like, it's reminding me, so I feel like
you don't need...
Justin Roiland was like a perfect encapsulation of this. I feel like we had like, and we've talked about this before, Leave It to Beaver, like heroes and villains era of TV. And then we had like the anti-hero era of TV where it's like Walter White and the guy from The Wire, McNulty. These are like bad dudes who you love because they're, relatable and multifaceted and fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then I think we're coming back to the heroes and almost hero. I don't know. Then there's like shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where like everyone sucks.
Yeah.
And I feel like Justin Roiland was part of like that era of television, and the new people are more of the like Ted Lasso era of television where you're allowed to just straightforwardly like people and they're not one dimensional. They're not, entirely without flaws, but they are people you would describe as good people. Like everyone on Ted Lasso is like a good person. Even like the, villain, there was still some humanity there. And
Yeah.
so I think, I don't know, with the
Rupert.
like in a way, Solar Opposites is It's Always Sunny, because all of the main characters are like terrible, not people, they're aliens, but they're terrible beings. But like the AI, for example, on the ship, like she's kind of the Ted Lasso. Like she's cool,
Yeah.
She's like a good being. Like what's the word? I don't know, pro-social. That's not the word I'm looking for, but yeah. Anyway, that's interesting.
Sorry, I've been wrangling the cat while you were talking. A lot.
Yeah. What do you have to add to the conversation?
And I think, like I said, I think they've done a really good job of actually doing the character swap. Without really trying to change his character at all, they just changed the voice, which worked really well.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, they've handled it substantially better than they have so far, or it appears that they're going to do. I'm not sure which for Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah. What's the plan there?
I don't know, but apparently from what I've read, it's not great. Which I didn't read through the articles because I haven't followed Rick and Morty in a while, but I've seen multiple headlines talking about how, unlike Solar Opposites, they actually compared it to the transition into Solar Opposites, and they said that it's been kind of botched on the Rick and Morty front.
Yeah, I think with Rick and Morty, it's like Gamergate. Like when you have a fan base of maladjusted people with antisocial tendencies and way too much time and energy on their hands, that's a rough situation to be in as a creator. And it's, what it reminds me of? I've been reading for like the past year. I've been reading Bowling Alone, and it has a lot of information on television. Basically, like Robert Putnam thinks that TV is why Americans are less socially connected, or were in the 90s than in generations past. And he makes a compelling case. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting was the research on the differences between heavy television watchers and light television watchers and like non-television watchers. And like they're very different groups of people. And essentially, like people who watch less television are like better people across like every measurable point of data. They exercise more, they're more pro-social, they volunteer more, they're higher educated, they're in better health, they have like participate in more hobbies, like higher income, like all kinds of things are correlated with television watching, the amount of television watching you do. And I'm thinking about it as well because I'm listening to this true crime podcast, and a lot of the ads are for like TV or like things to like a sound bar to make your television watching experience better. Anyway, yeah, so I think in a way, like any television show is going to have like kind of a problem of their, target audience being like kind of antisocial fail sons and daughters. But then there's like the Ted Lasso fandom versus and I think it would be interesting actually to see for every show, how much TV does the fandom watch?
Yeah. That would be interesting. And like then compare it to like other metrics, like is it generally perceived as a negative fan base, a positive fan base?
Yeah.
See if that correlates on a larger scale.
Yeah. Because like if I had to guess, I would say like prestige television fans probably watch fewer hours of television in a week than like Hulu subscribers. But I don't know, could be wrong. Maybe TV is TV. Any hoodle, yeah. I feel bad for the people associated. I mean, Rick and Morty, like I really love it. I think it's really funny. I can see from things I've read online about its fan base how it's in a pickle.
I see what you did there.
Fired. Unsubscribe. Anyway.
The cat did not like that joke.
The cats have better taste than I do.
I liked it.
You're biased.
What of it?
Anyway, do you have anything more to say about this?
Not really. Honestly, I like it because it's like a show that like I don't remember much about it after it's over. It's just like, I thought you said you didn't like bottle episodes. It's very bottle episode heavy.
You got a point there. Yeah. It's not, but it is not officially like a bottle episode is like new characters, like no continuity.
No, okay. Say I've heard it like a mid of like you have bottle episodes. For
I'm
shows
wrong.
that
You're
are,
right. It's a spectrum.
But okay, so your idea of a bottle episode is a full change out, not just like a. I've heard bottle episode used for like an episode of something that basically at the end that's like an adventure of the day.
Yeah.
And then the next week isn't, but it's like still the same cast.
Yeah.
There's generally some slight hint of a larger serialized plot over the season, but it's not paramount to enjoying an episode.
Yeah. I would say the more bottle it gets, the less I like it, but I can deal with a certain amount of like most sitcoms are essentially, yeah, it's not like essential, like you can come in whenever.
Yeah, anything that's still on TV especially is generally a bottle episode because a lot of time, like otherwise you have to count on your audience to have stayed up with like a serialized arc that doesn't necessarily translate to like broadcast television, which I mean that's less and less of an important metric these days. But like for instance, that's what Star Trek DS9 had to find a middle ground approach or middle of the road approach is because like they would lose people if like one person wasn't able to tune in to like UPN at like a certain time on a certain day, like they were going to miss a large part of the serialized plot and may never understand what's going on for the rest of the season kind of thing. Whereas now everything's online, so you can watch it at your own convenience, so it doesn't matter as much. Let's say that was one of the explanations I'd heard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it used to really matter when shows aired. Yeah. And it's interesting. Like now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, sitcoms, like Friends was very plot driven. Like, not, I don't know, very, but like, it was pretty, people were interested or like, even The Office, there were plots like Pam and Jim that you would like watch to see. And then like the wedding episodes of these shows were like huge deals.
Oh, yeah.
But then you think about like The Simpsons, and The Simpsons is like completely bottled. Like there are no plots that go.
Then like in Family Guy, imagine fall into the same.
Yeah, so maybe it's an animated versus live action difference where animateds are pretty much always bottles and live actions are pretty much always yeah.
My favorite example is one of Adult Swim's first shows was Sea Lab 2021, and if I remember correctly, basically at the end of every episode they all died, and then just ignored what had happened in the next episode.
Or like Kenny always died at the end of South Park.
Yeah, I think it's to some degree it probably has something to do with you can just get away with way more extreme stuff on like cartoons.
Well, yeah, like characters dying or not aging, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
I like it when animated shows like take advantage of the fact, oh, here we go, just as you predicted.
We have tails. Sweet kid.
Anyway, that's enough, probably.
He looks like he's
he's ready for his close-up. He's like, include me, parents. You're in the show. All right, if you're listening to this is weird and awkward, but what it is anyway.
Two versions. There's tons of fluffy lovey cats. Two fluffy lovey cats trying to get away from me,
just two,
frantically. All right, I'm gonna put you down.
Thanks for tuning in and tolerating us and our weird things that we have to say about television.
Bye.
Bye.